Welcome to another episode of Up in the Air. I'm Vivian Rennie.
And I'm Chris Landolfi. So Vivian, do you have a chance to go to the Arboretum Fall Festival this weekend?
I did. It was so fun. I loved seeing all the different kinds of pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns that were there.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive what people can do carving out a pumpkin.
I'm definitely not that creative.
No, me neither. Well, we have a ton on the show tonight. We have stories on wildfires, sea turtles, and Antarctica.
All that and more, but first, here's Update in the Air.
A mysterious hole as big as the state of Maine has been spotted in Antarctic winter sea ice. This hole was discovered last month by University of Toronto researchers who observed it by satellite. Although it was only discovered a month ago, researchers are not sure how long the hole has been there, since it is hard to observe the surface of sea ice during Antarctica's harsh winters. A smaller hole opened up last winter, tipping researchers off to observe this area of Antarctica. The deep water in that part of the Southern Ocean is warmer and saltier than the surface water. Ocean currents bring the warmer water upwards, where it melts the blankets of ice that had formed on the ocean's surface. Since the hole continually exposes the water to the atmosphere above, it is difficult for new ice layers to form. When the warmer water cools on contact with the frigid temperatures in the atmosphere, it sinks. Then it reheats in deeper areas, allowing the cycle to continue. Outside of local weather effects, scientists are not sure if these holes in ice have long-term effects on the climate.
Potato-sized lumps of rock 4,000 meters below the ocean hold valuable metals such as manganese, cobalt, and copper. Researchers published this discovery of these deep-sea minerals in the Journal of Systematics and Biodiversity in late September. Little is known about life this deep in the ocean, but the prospect of mining in these depths is looming as mineral deposits are drained. The United Nations International Seabed Authority has granted 16 exploration contracts for mining manganese nodules. To track how mining will affect the biodiversity at these depths, scientists are monitoring a new species of nodule-dwelling sponges to track seabed changes. Star-shaped sponges that litter the nodule fields have many scientists hopeful that these sponges may become the perfect deep-sea canary in a coal mine.
In northeastern Australia, a vein of coal lies underground in a desolate corner of the island nation. There would be enough coal to mine for decades. The government is considering a proposal to build one of the world's largest coal mines. This one coal mine would more than double the coal output in Australia, which is already fourth in the world in coal production. This plan does not come without opposition, however, from many environmental groups. A group of Indigenous Australians are also claiming that the land which the coal lies below belongs to them. While this coal mine would create thousands of jobs for the region, Greenpeace estimates it could also release as much as 700 million tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere each year. That would be nearly as much as the entire country of Germany generates in emissions. While Australia has pledged to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions by 28% by 2030, this coal plant would make it near impossible. As we face a world that is ever looking to more renewable energy sources, Australia's decision on whether or not to allow the coal plant will have lasting effects.
In addition to wiping out many homes and businesses, Hurricane Irma swept away a large number of sea turtle nests as it tore across Florida last month. The state is a center of sea turtle nesting for many threatened species. An official statewide picture of this damage won't be available until early December, but it is clear that many of the nesting areas across the state were destroyed by Irma. Sea turtles take 25 to 30 years to reach reproductive age and lay their eggs on open beaches. Many key nesting beaches were eroded or flooded, washing away the eggs. Along two key beaches south of Cape Canaveral, more than 90% of incubating loggerhead nests were destroyed by the storm. According to Dr. Mansfield of the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, losses were significant this year, but sea turtle populations will survive as long as devastating hits like this don't keep coming.
In Northern California, firefighters are battling wildfires through 8 counties where 22 fires have been burning since October 8th. This is expected to be one of the worst disasters in the history of California, as over 3,500 homes and businesses are estimated to have already been destroyed by fire. Many of these fires took residents by surprise, as over 20,000 people were told to evacuate their homes. Although officials do not know how these fires started, environmental conditions are only worsening the blazes. High winds, dry underbrush, and a lack of moisture in the air are causing fires to consume entire neighborhoods in a matter of minutes. The worst fire in recent history was the Cedar Fire in 2003 that ripped through San Diego, ravaging more than 270,000 acres of land, destroying 2,800 homes, and claiming 15 lives. With over 600 people already missing in Northern California, firefighters worry that if they cannot get the fires under control, this could easily become the worst fire disaster in California history.
This Sunday, Donald Trump's Secretary for Agriculture signed a communique recognizing the threat to global food supply due to climate change. Sonny Perdue met with ministers of agriculture from the G7 countries and the EU to address climate change to the global food system. The ministers noted droughts, floods, earthquakes, pest infestation, and market stocks were impacting farmers and food production. In this communique, it is stated that climate change is projected to amplify many of these issues. With this agreement, ministers avoided a fight with the U.S. over Trump's statements about the Paris Accord in 2015. The inclusion of language about climate risks indicated that the U.S. is willing to engage on climate issues as long as discussions do not refer to the Paris deal or human drivers of global warming. After signing the communique, U.S. Secretary Perdue met with the Pope to mark World Food Day. Although the meeting went smoothly, the Pope made it clear that he was unhappy with the U.S. stance on the Paris deal. He stated that sadly, some have abandoned the Paris Accord.
Welcome back to the show.
We now have a special feature on firewood danger by J.P. Tracy.
Every winter, people across the country uncover their firewood piles and dust out the fireplace to create comforting fires that bring a sense of warmth and coziness to the long, bitter nights. These small fires become the centerpieces of family gatherings and holiday celebrations. But while the warm glow of the flames might be peaceful, the ashes and particles they produce just might be a danger to your health. When temperatures drop below freezing, many people decide to use their wood-burning fireplaces to add a sense of comfort to the cold. But exactly what you burn and how you burn it may negatively impact your health. The smoke produced by chimney fires contains many small particles. When these particles are breathed in, it may lead to negative effects on the lungs, such as aggravation of bronchitis or asthma. It is important to burn materials and use burning techniques that will minimize the particles that a fire gives off, to make the air healthier and your family happier. The EPA gives these tips on how to minimize wood smoke in your home. Before you burn, make sure your chimney is clean. A clean chimney provides a good draft and reduces the risk of a chimney fire. Have your chimney inspected by a professional at least once per year, and regularly clean ashes from your fireplace or wood-burning stove to increase efficiency. Use newspaper and dry kindling to start a fire. Never use gasoline, kerosene, charcoal starter, or propane, as these chemicals, when burned, may give off dangerous fumes. Remember to never burn garbage or cardboard, coated or painted wood, particle board, plywood, or wood with glue on it. Burning these materials can release harmful chemicals into the air inside your home. And finally, if you burn wood at home, even occasionally, install smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors to keep you and your family safe. If you already have detectors, check the batteries and make sure that they are working properly. For Up in the Air, I'm J.P. Tracy.
Welcome back to the show. So Vivian, obviously we have a very big football game this weekend. Are you going to be going to it?
I will 100% be going to the game. It's a 7:30 kickoff, so it's going to be a great day. So excited for the game, though.
Absolutely. It is going to be a fun one. Now, what is the forecast going to be like? We have Kellyanne at the wall to give us more details. Kellyanne, how are you doing?
Good, Chris. Thanks. I will have more of the forecast details coming up in just a little bit, though. Let's take a look at the fall foliage outlook for October 16th, as of October 16th. So mainly the best fall foliage is in Maine. That's where you're going to see the peak color noted by the red shading all the way down to New Hampshire and Vermont. But here in Pennsylvania, we have actually some peak color in the northern, just to the north of central Pennsylvania. And here in Center County, we actually have some high color shaded in the orange and rest of Pennsylvania, extending into New Jersey, maybe just some low to moderate color. But if you really want to see some good foliage, travel up to Maine. It's going to be a beautiful drive. All right, let's take a look at temperature outlook. So a different story compared to the last couple of weeks. The Pacific Northwest within the past couple of weeks have been below average, but now they are above normal, and that extends all the way down to California, shaded in the red. That's going to see the highest temperatures. And here in the Northeast, we are actually seeing above average temperatures from October 24th to October 30th, shaded by the red, and that extends all the way down here to Pennsylvania. Here in center Pennsylvania, we may get some temperatures that will be a degree or two, maybe even up to 5 degrees above normal for this time of year. But the below normal temperatures are actually shaded here in blue towards the center portions of the United States. But most of the United States is actually going to be above normal for October 24th to October 30th. All right, precipitation outlook. Most of the United States is going to be below normal, shaded in the brown, and it's going to be a much different story towards the Northeast, above normal here in State College and throughout the New England area. But the darkest greens are going to be more above normal for precipitation. But the drought and the below normal precipitation out west is really not going to help drought situations here. In Montana, shaded by the red, they have an exceptional drought, and that extends all the way through Idaho into Washington and Oregon, and then the central portions of the United States has some drought. It's very scattered, but nothing like what Montana has been seeing. And here in the Northeast, we actually have some drought, as it is also scattered as well from Massachusetts all the way up to Maine. And here in Pennsylvania, we just have some drought, but I think it should hopefully go down as we have some above normal precipitation. And here is the weekend outlook for the big game against Michigan. Saturday, a beautiful day. Temperatures ranging from the upper 60s to low 70s. Plenty of sunshine. If you're going to morning tailgates, you may want to pack a light jacket, but you can take that off as we head on throughout the rest of the day, even into the evening. But bring some sunglasses, bring a hat as well. And it's really the same story for Sunday as well. Maybe some clouds in the area. Temperatures ranging from the low 70s, maybe even into the mid 70s. But guys, either way, it's going to be a beautiful forecast for you. Nothing compared to last year, as we had temperatures very chilly and breezy actually, but now it's going to be beautiful. And I don't know about you guys, but I think there's going to be a 100% chance of a whiteout coming up this weekend.
Wow, yeah, if you weren't excited to go to that game yet.
I'm definitely excited now.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kellyanne. That's all we have for this week of Up in the Air. I'm Chris Landolfi.
And I'm Vivian Rennie. We'll see you next week, Up in the Air.